Kaalan Walker, best known to the world as KR, is a rapper out of California. KR started off dancing with a group that was based in Los Angeles called the Marvel Bros. The group politely split up, and KR began a solo rapping career. KR dropped the mixtape series Isolife 1, 2, and 3, gaining more and more success with each music video and mixtape drop. He's been featured in world-renowned magazines and played in 2 movies, King with Halle Berry and Superfly with Trevor Jackson. KR mentioned that Kendrick Lamar and Top Dawg of TD tried to sign him, but he declined the request. In this video though, we discuss the side of KR that we've never been shown until his arrest for 9 counts of sexual assault and rape.
Yeah, that's right. He was living here in Valley Village, and his career was really blowing up. I mean, in the last year, he had 2 movies. He also recorded an album.
Started off with the big package.
Kaalan Walker was an up-and-coming hip-hop artist and just released an album this year. He was also adding to his acting resume. Last year, he starred along Halle Berry and Daniel Craig in the drama Kings. And most recently, he was in BET's remake of Superfly. Now, the 23-year-old LA native is locked up, charged with 9 separate felony sexual assault charges. Armani says she was one of his childhood friends. I FaceTimed her from Compton.
I'm not surprised. That's what I've been hearing from multiple people. Like, I'm not surprised.
Authorities with the LAPD say the sexual assaults go back to 2016. In each of the cases, police say Walker would contact aspiring models through social media with the premise of being hired to work professionally. While alone, each of the victims reported that Walker sexually assaulted them. Armani says while the news doesn't shock her, she saw red flags from the beginning.
It seemed like he had a hard time forming relationships and keeping them. And I saw how obsessed he was over one of my best friends. He would be obsessed, like trying to pick fights with people over her.
Armani goes on to say at one point in high school, Walker touched her inappropriately, but let up when she said no. Walker was arrested back in September, and 1 week before his arrest, he posted this message on Twitter saying, "New music, more acting, taking pictures of random things, and working on my mental health."
Crazy to know that that was happening and that he had 9 counts, and we're so young. We're so young.
And authorities believe there could be more victims. If you know anything about this, you're asked to call police. As for Walker, we're told he's being held on a $1 million bail. Reporting live from Valley Village, I'm Chris Holmstrom, KCAL 9 News.
Okay, Chris. Kaalan went ghost from all of his social media back in 2018. Some investigating happened, and a simple search on Google found Kaalan within seconds. It is evident that Mr. Walker has been accused of rape since 2014, but only 9 have been reported and acknowledged so far. The news mentions that Mr. Walker was known to hire models for his photography, invite them over, and rape them. Mr. Walker's photographer, 228, mentioned that KR raped his sister before, but she never reported it either. It is unclear whether she was modeling for him or not. New details about this case have come to surface. One victim's mother spoke to us through Instagram direct messages to discuss what had happened to her daughter. She gives the details, explaining how her daughter had to go through therapy to cope with what Kaalan did to her. She will remain anonymous because his case is still open. Here is a transcript of her message. "Yes, sadly it's true. My daughter was raped by him in 2014. She reported it to LAPD after it happened. They did nothing. He went on to rape/assault 9 other women in 2016 through 2018. He's a terrible human being. It has been a nightmare. She's been in therapy for 5 years. I'm hopeful that he will be found guilty." Let's take a closer look at who Kaalan Walker is, or who he appeared to be before his arrest. Kaalan always played the role of the nice guy who was always kind and sweet to everyone he came into contact with. He spoke about depression and being close to suicide.
I got a heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you asked me before this interview how am I feeling. If I'm being honest, bro, I'm depressed.
How?
I'm depressed. I think I'm so depressed. Like, it makes forget it. I'm depressed. You know what? I'm depressed as hell.
I mean, you would think that like you are in even though you're not mainstream, you're not like a big artist, so to speak. I feel like you're in a good position though. And
What is that though? You say good position.
I want to ask you, like, mentally.
Yeah, that's not.
You're not in a good position.
No,
mentally?
man, I'm confused, man. I'm confused. I feel like I'm watching things take course, and I'm confused, bro. I'm unhappy with my real life, mentally up here, bro. Success is nothing if I'm not successful up here, bro. This is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I think of suicide at least once or twice every other day.
Was KR overwhelmed from having a guilty conscience? Was he scared of being caught? Did he know he would be caught eventually? Kaalan Walker's bail is now set at $3 million and he obviously can't afford it, so he remains in jail. You would think that his label or his label mates or friends would help pay his bail, but we feel as if the industry, rightfully so, has blackballed him. His DJ Swansea even spoke about not being affiliated with him anymore. TMZ News reporter Veronica Barriga spoke about KR as well. She had this to say. I'm sure his people want people to forget about it, and speaking on it will make the story new again. By the way, almost $4 million is a crazy amount for bail. They obviously think he is high risk. Also, I've had many girls reach out to me with stories about him. I believe every single girl/woman, and if I had to guess, I don't think he's innocent, but that's just my opinion. Of course I don't know for sure, but we'll be keeping an eye on how it all turns out. We came across another Instagram user who had more details on the rape incidents. He says that his ex-girlfriend and another friend were both raped by Kaalan. I will read the transcripts aloud. Well, my ex-girlfriend and another separate friend were both offered help from Kaalan with their modeling careers. Both met with him at what turned out to be a coffee shop near his house, followed by him lying, saying he had left his wallet up in his apartment. They followed him back to his apartment and he immediately locked the door behind them and threw them onto the bed. My ex fought him off because she was much bigger than him, but my other friend tried, but eventually, he got her pants off and forced himself inside of her for what she said was a minute, but then he pulled out and came on his hand. A disgusting human being, and I hope for his sake he's never released. These were separate incidents, they don't even know each other, and they both told me eerily identical details. Stay tuned for part 2 of The Accused and the Abused, a look into the case of Kaalan Walker. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts and analysis of Mr. Walker. Do you think he really did it? Do you think the women are lying for monetary gains? Do you have any personal experiences with KR? Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.